Been driving the 2025 Honda Pilot Elite this week. Today I'm going to tell you how good it is, some of the things I really enjoy, some of the things that I feel like Honda could do better with. But first of all, let's just start with the powertrain. Every single Honda Pilot comes with this one powertrain. They have a newly developed, it's still new in my opinion, debuted on this vehicle, if I remember correctly. His 3.5 liter V6. Now, everybody's saying, Kurt, Honda's had 3.5 liter V6s for a long time. Yeah, but not this one. This one's a double overhead cam that no longer has VTEC like the Honda Odyssey, which it still has the older 3.5 liter V6 that likes to rev to the moon. And yeah, the VTEC kicks in, throws the kids in the back of the seat in the Odyssey. Will this? Well, this has 5 more horsepower. It has 262 pound-feet torque with 285 horsepower, 10-speed auto here. I'm getting about 20 miles per gallon I'm seeing on this. You can get the Honda Pilot front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. I think the Elite is standard all-wheel drive. It's unfortunate that Honda does not have a hybrid still on their large platform vehicles. The front end of this looks a lot more macho than the outgoing Honda Pilot. I say outgoing, it's this model's been out for about 2-3 model years at this point. The only ones I've driven before have been the TrailSports. So I'm going to tell you if I like this better than the TrailSport models or not once we start driving it. This has 20-inch wheels here. They look okay. I mean, these are the fanciest wheels you get on the Honda Pilot. I think the 18-inch wheels on the TrailSport look better. This red color is the same that I see on the Odyssey that we're driving. It's a better looking SUV than the previous Honda Pilot was, but it's starting to wear off, I guess, the newness of it. All right, it's a very practical shape. It's a very basic SUV design. Honda Pilot here on the back in black, and you see the Elite badge here. We kind of have these dual exhaust outlets. They're fake, and that is unfortunate. All right, I thought something in the back looked funny. There's the true dual exhaust, and there is your spare tire. It might be full diameter, but not full width, if I'm saying that right. So let's lift this up. Oh yeah, the Moto Compacto also does not fit back here in the cargo space unless you lift it up the vertical way like that. Of course, parking sensors in the back here. Let's check out the cargo capacity. I like that I have a lot of underfloor storage here. Honda does that probably better than most of its competition. I can press this button, walk away, and the hatch will close. 180 watts of accessory power. A little subwoofer here for that Bose sound system. Let's go ahead and fold these down. Just one pull, but I do have seats back there, so it's not going to fold down completely flat. But Honda Pilot, hey, it's nice to have different reclining settings here for this third row. All right, let's flip that back up. Let's close this down. This does have a kick sensor as well. Honda has the capless gas system, which is kind of nice. We have smart key access on all 4 doors on this Elite trim. Getting into the back seat, I do like the window shades. It's great for Abe or babies or little kids. They're not going to get blasted by the sun. Lots of storage here on the door. Hard touch plastic here for an Elite trim. I think Honda could do better. It's nice leather down here, but that's a bit crazy to me. All right, so let's go ahead and press this button. Let's get into the back seat where the kids have been living. All right, see cute bunny drawings, for example, and oh, they've been drawing Knuckles apparently. All right, so we have USB-C back here, kind of like the Odyssey. Odyssey has, I think, 3 USBs total. I think they actually have a USB-A as well. The vents are in a weird spot. I don't have vents up top. Now I have tons of headroom, if you guys can see. Lots and lots of headroom. Even my big old Honda hat is not touching the roof here. I think the Honda Odyssey also has window shades here, for example. But anyways, these vents are in a weird spot. The Odyssey's vents are a little bit further forward here. And I feel like that's a good shoulder cooler, but it's good to have a vent close to you regardless of where it's at. Ideally, it would be up here coming down on your face. Let's talk about legroom. Actually, it's not terrible. My foot, I'm running into issues here. That might be the wheel well area. And then this seat could fold up too if you wanted to seat a total of 8 people in here. Yes, it can seat 8, but this is the skinniest seat. One of the skinniest seats I think I've seen. So very, very small seat here. I don't even understand how this qualifies as a seat. There's no way anyone other than a really, really, really small child but then you couldn't fit a booster seat here. So very, very small and very questionable eighth seat in here. I'd say it would sit 7 people comfortably. If you need to sit 8, you should definitely be looking at a Honda Odyssey or a minivan. All right, so get the panel roof here on the Elite trim. And like the MDX, which shares the same platform as this, yes, my kids have dumped sand in here somehow from their shoes. But this seat, like the MDX, is removable. So you can pass through to the back quite easily. Okay, so there's a little lever right here that folds it down. This seat is about 2 times wider than that middle seat back there. So this is a real middle seat here where real people could fit in. What about the leg space? Pretty good. This is set up for me. A little mat pocket here. So double mat pockets on each seat. This Elite has a heated outboard seats. You also have AC power down at the bottom, 2 USB-Cs, vents down there, and pretty cozy, must say, as long as you're not putting your arm here. All right, let's go ahead and get in the front seat. Got blind spot monitor here, which is standard on the Pilot. There's no longer, by the way, there's no longer a base XL trim or LX trim. I could be butchering. I think it's base LX. The new base model, at least for 2025, is the Sport. So hopefully they bring back the more affordable sub $40,000 Honda Pilot on the LX trim. All right, black leather seats here. They're not quite as sporty as I remember the TrailSport seats being, but they are comfortable despite not being the most attractive looking seats. We got memory seats here. Let's go and close this. Fully digital. I think there's a 10-inch screen here. It's a bit small. You have this whole area around here, but that area is a bit, or the screen's a bit small. But anyways, I don't really have any issues with it. This screen's very small too for such a large vehicle. I believe this is like a 9-inch screen. It needs to be like from here to here. But let me know if that bothers you. I do like the volume knob. The screen is great. The software is great on it. Do I have Android built in? I don't think I have Google built in like I do on, let's say, the touring version of the Accord. So that's a bit strange. I do have wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. I do have Sirius XM. That's something that the Accord does not have, for example. All right, heated and ventilated seats here on this. Climate control, physical knobs are just fantastic. Some of the best in the industry Honda has with climate control settings. I remember, since it's only 65 degrees right now, so I can't really talk about the AC in here. This week it hasn't been that hot since I've had it. I remember having the TrailSport in the summer, and it struggled, the TrailSport, cooling down the family. Having a panel roof probably doesn't help in that situation either. But Florida summers, not very many vehicles do a good job cooling down. All right, the dash is pretty nice. I like the stitching, the leather wrapped here on the front of the dash. A little storage spot there. We have a USB-A, USB-C. Interestingly, the USB-A is the only data port, so if you wanted to run Android Auto or Apple CarPlay wired, it looks like you'd have to do it through USB-A, despite USB-Cs being everywhere else in the vehicle. We have a wireless charger here, traditional Honda push button on their large platform. It's all right, I guess. I prefer a column shifter. Auto brake hold is memory, unlike the Odyssey. That's great, so I don't have to keep putting it on every time I drive, but yeah. Anyways, drive modes as well. We'll talk about those drive modes today when we start driving. I do have a heated steering wheel. I do have the latest Honda sensing, of course. Paddle shift here, so the 10-speed auto. And looking in here, there's no light. There's no light in there. That's something Honda could improve upon, but at least there's a rubber mat there at the bottom. But no digital rearview mirror. I do have a 360 camera, top down, pretty good quality. It does have predictive lines as well, so I do like that. I wish the Honda Odyssey had a 360 camera. Oh shoot, the car moved forward just a little bit when I got off the brake there because I put it into reverse and drive. We do have, it does not have cabin watch like the Odyssey, so I don't have a camera that's going to show them the kids. This is the closest thing, which is kind of like a mirror to show what's going on in the back. And we do have a sunglasses holder behind that. Sunglasses control there. So let's go and start driving the 2025 Honda Pilot. All right, buckling up. I've mentioned how comfortable these seats are. Let's put it into drive and let's get out of this parking lot. The leather wrapped steering wheel feels very, very quality. And just getting it out into first there, I remember this being a note the last time I drove the Pilot, the TrailSport, is that the first gear sometimes can be a bit sticky, but once you warm the vehicle up, that stickiness and that sometimes roughness shifting out of first gear goes away. Right now as I'm accelerating, very smooth, pretty smooth and pretty satisfying. I do like the sound of this V6. It doesn't sound as good as the old V6 in the Odyssey that's still in it, but it's satisfying. I'm glad Honda still offers a V6. And throwing this in the turns, it handles quite well for a big old crossover. So I'm happy with the handling here. It is interesting. So it's a bit floaty while you're driving straight, and at times I do get some harshness coming through, all right, that I don't remember having on the TrailSport. I think I like the ride quality on the TrailSport better, to be honest. I think the 18-inch wheels do a better job, and the off-road tuned suspension on it is more comfortable for me, at least from what I remember. Also, I don't know if Honda has changed the logic of this transmission since I last reviewed the Honda Pilot TrailSport. It seems more lethargic. I have to bury my foot a lot more to get this vehicle to do what I want it to. All right, it almost feels like it's in eco mode and standard mode. Now, if I put it into sport mode, and by the way, it has sport, there's so many driving modes on this. There is sport, normal, econ, and then snow, trail, sand, and tow. Anyways, when I go to sport mode here, it's as responsive as I want it to be finally. I wish normal mode is as responsive, but sport mode locks you out of the higher gears, all right? So the transmission's more responsive in picking the right gears. I get that. I wish I could have the responsiveness of sport mode, but the fuel economy of normal mode, if that makes sense. The gas pedal in normal mode is just a little bit too dull, and you have to work it a lot to move this big SUV. All right, I don't remember having that sort of impression a few years ago on the TrailSport. Doesn't mean it's probably the exact same. It's just I've driven so many more cars since then. And maybe its lack of enthusiasm is more evidence that I've been driving the 2025 Odyssey a lot since October. I have a long-term loaner agreement with that vehicle. That vehicle, the engine is more peppy. It has the same transmission, but it seems more willing to work with me than this vehicle. When I throw this in the turns, there's a lot more body roll. The Odyssey feels like a sedan. It's crazy how well that vehicle handles. You feel so much more, the center of gravity feels a lot lower, even though you do sit a little bit lower in the Odyssey. If you like sitting up really high, I guess the Pilot's a better option, but you're gonna give up handling, you're gonna give up braking. The braking here is good, but there's a lot more pitch and dive compared to something like the Odyssey. Comfort, I would say, is pretty good and pretty similar between the two, all right? But sliding doors. Anyways, I'd be picking the Odyssey over this, you guys know that, but I honestly would not be picking this Elite trim. It does not feel very elite to me. I would be picking the TrailSport. It feels unique, it looks cool, it's got better ride quality in my opinion from what I remember. I'm not driving them back to back, so keep that in mind. And I think it handles better, the TrailSport. I think it handles better than this non-off-road tuned suspension model. So the Honda Pilot is very vanilla. And I guess that's good for Honda, right? Honda, I guess they didn't want to do anything too drastic. But if you look at something like the Mazda CX-90, they went full-on sporty. Rear-wheel drive bias. They went inline six. And I looked in my area, I can get Mazda CX-90s for less money than a Honda Pilot. Like, sorry Honda, I'm going with the cooler looking and the more fun to drive Mazda CX-90, all right, or the plug-in hybrid, which is good on that too. The Mazda CX-90 gets about 25 miles per gallon. I'm seeing at best 19 to 20 miles per gallon here. And if Honda had a Honda Pilot hybrid, shoot, I might pick that over something like the Grand Highlander hybrid if it were available. The ride quality and the handling is better on this than something like the Grand Highlander. It's just the Grand Highlander has those hybrids available to it, which have either really, really good efficiency, or the powerful hybrid in that, which has performance and 25 miles per gallon. All right, so it's just the Honda Pilot doesn't do anything to stand out anymore. I guess the V6 or a lot of the competition's gone to 4-cylinder turbos, but man, I'd rather have a hybrid if it was available from Honda, because I know Honda can do hybrids really, really well. And the braking is good here. It's just under hard braking, you feel it nosedive a bit, which can be a bit concerning compared to something like the Odyssey, which just feels like so planted all the time. I guess we'll maybe ring this V6 out here. It's very, very loud at full tilt. Most of the time it's quiet, but if you need this thing to hustle, it's extraordinarily loud. And I don't necessarily, I like the sound of a V6. It doesn't sound as good as the Odyssey's V6. It's crazy that they have so much different character. But listen to this.
Oh. Oh my.
There's 70. The power is similar between the two, but it's just the old V6 is smoother. The single overhead cam is smoother. It's more of an exciting engine, and it sounds better too. So, yeah, the Honda Pilot. I was expecting it to be more like the Odyssey because, well, it's a Honda. They both have a V6. They're a large platform, but the Odyssey's still on an older platform. This shares a new platform with the MDX, and like the MDX, it kind of falls short in terms of a few things. So I notice a lot more vibration in this vehicle through the seat, through the bottom of the vehicle, the floor of the vehicle. I feel much more vibration through the pedals too, compared to the Odyssey. I don't have any of that in the Odyssey. The Odyssey feels far more luxurious than this Pilot does. And I didn't want to make this a video review about the Pilot versus the Odyssey, but the more I drive it, the more I'd rather be in the Odyssey. The Odyssey from Honda is just so much more refined. It's more fun to drive. The V6 is better, and I have the sliding doors, which is better for the family. I mean, the new Pilot TrailSport looks pretty cool, but the normal Pilot, it's just super vanilla looking. And yeah, I mean, if they're the same price, I get so much more refinement and sliding doors out of an Odyssey compared to the Pilot. And the Pilot, like I said, I would rather take a lot of other competitors on the market. So I'm going to end this video here. The Honda Pilot's fine. It's very vanilla V6. I don't have a lot of things to complain about. It probably sounds like I'm complaining about the whole time. It's a very good SUV, but I find problems with it because the Odyssey exposes this vehicle, because the Odyssey is literally like a luxury car in so many ways. This doesn't feel luxury, even though this is the Elite trim. So I'm gonna go into the office and I'm gonna tell you how this vehicle stacks up with every other car I've reviewed so far this year. It's only mid-February at the time of recording this, so I haven't reviewed much. And there's a Pilot, or no, that could have been a Passport. See, that's the thing. The old Passports and the old Pilots look so similar. Now they look different. The new Passport looks amazing. I can't wait to drive the new Passport. It has a lot of character, at least on the outside. I know the engine is going to be the same as this, which is a fine engine. It's a fine engine. It's going to give me 20 miles per gallon. Anyways, let's go to the office and sum this up. All right, so we got the leaderboard up with all the cars I reviewed so far this year. Honda Pilot, where is it going to fall? Well, it's way better than the GMC Hummer. I'm not gonna say super way better than the Traverse, but it's better. It's a better family vehicle. The V6 is much better than the four cylinder in here. Alfa Romeo, it's just really small. It's hard to compare it. Lincoln Nautilus, I'd rather have a Honda Pilot than a Lincoln Nautilus. Nautilus is fine. It's just it's really, really expensive once you get the hybrid models. I also reviewed the Kia Carnival this week alongside the Honda Pilot. I didn't do like a versus review on that, but I did put up the Kia Carnival against the Honda Odyssey van. I'd take the Odyssey absolutely over the Carnival, but would I take the Pilot over the Carnival? And the answer is no. I think the Honda Pilot's going to fit right between the Kia Carnival hybrid and the Lincoln Nautilus. The Pilot, I was expecting it to drive very similar to the Odyssey, and it doesn't. The Odyssey drives so much better, handles so much better, it brakes better, its V6 is smoother, and more exciting at the same time because it has the VTEC at the top end on a minivan, which is so cool. The Honda Pilot, and the back seat's pretty small here compared to the Odyssey. So from a family perspective, it doesn't have the sliding doors that like a Carnival does, for example. And the Carnival, the thing is, the brakes suck on the Carnival, but that's something I would live with to get more than double the fuel economy that the Pilot offers, and better functionality for family with the sliding doors, that sort of thing. 4Runner is a lot better than the Pilot. But if you need an SUV, like there's other 3-row SUVs I'll review later in this year that are going to be a better pick than the Pilot. But the Pilot's definitely better than the Traverse. So if you're cross shopping, I do like the Pilot better. The thing is, the Pilot at the top end starts running into also the Armada. The Armada is my favorite vehicle I've reviewed so far this year. It's fantastic. At least from the, a big family crossover or / SUV perspective. The Armada is really, really good. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for more Honda reviews. I'll be driving the new Passport soon, as well as the Acura ADX I'll be driving soon, and I'll put them on this list as well, where I think they stack up with other cars I've reviewed so far this year. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.